Hello and good evening. Thank you so much for joining me this evening, whether you're watching live or on catch up. My name is Heather Thomas. I'm the Songbird Stamper and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Fareham in the United Kingdom. And I come here every Thursday evening to do a little bit of a live crafting session with whoever wants to hop on. But obviously these are always available on my YouTube channel for kind of catching up with afterwards as well. Although trying to catch up with the crazy conversation might be a little bit difficult, so apologies if you ever find it a struggle. Okay, so I kind of dug out pretty medallions. I was looking through my stamps. 23rd of March today. We've got 1 month left of the mini catalogue and the annual catalogue, and I wanted to kind of grab out a stamp set that I hadn't really used a great deal, and I thought of the Pretty Medallion stamp set. It's a background stamp, so it's just one stamp in here. I've seen this used. Hey, good evening, Louise. I've seen this used in so many different ways, but I'm going to show you one. I don't know what the time. I've prepped a card. Hey, Joanna, nice to see you this evening. Thank you for hopping on. I've prepped a card. We'll see how we get on. We might have time to make two, but I don't have any other ideas in my head at the moment, so maybe they'll come. But yeah, it's just one large red rubber stamp. Ah, Lisa, co-working tonight. Yes, I probably should have jumped on that, but you know, Thursday night's my fun time crafting with you guys. I haven't actually put the sticker on. You can do if you want to, but I tend not to with these big background stamps. Ah, good evening, Louise. Lovely to have you join us this evening. And then I've kind of paired it with this one, the Irresistible Blooms. Hello, Gina. Nice to see you again. Second time I've seen Gina today. Once virtually, once in person. Lovely to have you join us. Thank you. This is, again, it's a nice red rubber stamp. It's quite well used, actually. I've enjoyed using and playing with this one. So I thought we'd bring a little bit of that in. And then colour-wise, I've got Fresh Freesia, Gorgeous Grape, and Granny Apple Green. Ah, good evening, Yvonne. Thank you for popping on. I'm glad you can comment as well, which is amazing. So you can have a chat away with us. Hopefully I've got you set up right. It's a bit far away, actually. I might just bring the camera nearer me. See what that looks like. See if I can keep it straight. Try straight that way. Do you know what? Yeah, one of the ladies I saw that was using this, she'd cut off all of this excess, Joanna. The way I ink my stamps up, I don't actually have a problem, but you could end up. I've got a little fly just around the camera with the light, I think. You could absolutely chop all this off with the way. You might get errant ink. I've got errant ink on the background here, so yeah, you could absolutely stamp surgery it. You definitely could. And Louise would be too scared to cut it. I've butchered some of my stamps. My butterflies. My butterflies got butchered because I wanted these two little ones separate. I think they just come off. Where does it come off? Can't remember which one comes off where now. That one come off there, look. And that one comes off there. Yeah, you can. Anyway, we diverge off topic. So what have we got? We've got a card base, standard size card base. This is 21 centimeters by 14.5, and we've got scored in half at 10.5. You'd be tempted to cut the middle out. Now I'm curious. You want to cut that middle bit? That's cute, isn't it? Actually, and just use that bit on its own. You're wild, Joanna. You are wild. It wouldn't ever have even crossed my mind. Like, you could cut out that bit as well. I'd have to buy two, I think, if I was doing that, if I'm completely honest. I'd have to buy two stamps. I'm not that brave. Okay, and then I've got a piece of this gorgeous grape. It never looks purpley on camera, so I'm hoping it looks purple to you. Last time we did this, that is you, wild. Last time we did this, everyone said it looked gorgeous grape to them, but it definitely doesn't to me. It looks Orchid Oasis on my camera screen. So I'm going to cut this at 10 centimeters. by 14 centimetres. And then we need a little piece of, I can't work out whether this is thick. Anyone else really struggle to work out what's thick card and what's thin card? We need a piece of basic white cardstock, measuring 10. I know, I've still got that card. I am gonna send it to you, but I'm terrible at sending cards. So you might get it next year. Really bad at sending cards. I never think this is thick. I've got an abundance of thick white cardstock, but there we go. I have only got one packet of basic white left, which is a concern. It's a worry. First world problems and all that. Ah, hey Louise. No worries. Don't you worry. Hello Claire. Nice to see you. And this one's going to be cut at 13.5 by 9.5. Okay. So this is our mats and layers. So we've got 9.5 by 13.5, 10 by 14, and then a standard size card base, which for me is 21 centimetres by 14.5, scored in half at 10.5. Whew. Okay, let's work on this piece. So the first thing we're going to want to do is grab our embossing buddy, because we're going to heat emboss this one. Then we need to grab our Versamark, and I'm going to ink up my background stamp. Now, I'll try and do this live on camera. So the way I do it is just to leave my background stamp laying flat. We do sell a big block, so if you didn't like doing it this way, you can absolutely grab a big block, mount it on a block, and stamp like normal. And then I'm going to take my card, switch it over. Obviously, that's the side I've embossed, heat embossed, emboss buddied. And then I'm going to lay it down on my cardstock, on my background stamp, sorry. Now, height-wise, I'm not very good at lining this up, so I might get it off height-wise. But what I'm going to try and do is pick a pattern. So can you see the edge of this and the edge of this? If I kind of use that to line up on, yeah, can you see what I'm doing? So I'm just lining it up on those two edges. Again, height-wise might be off. I'm just going to try and line it up on those 2 points there. And then go down, and that means that you should have it straight that way. And then just use your fingers to smooth out and press down over the top. And then lifting it off is probably the biggest challenge. You want to get off as quickly as possible. So again, height-wise, I haven't done very well, but I'm happy with how straight it is up the top there. And it doesn't come all the way to the edge. That's what I wanted. I wanted it kind of off the page. I haven't actually got it off the page as much as I'd like, but you know, crafting never normally goes 100% right, does it? So then, had a class today, and we did heat embossing powder onto texture paste, which was fun. But I've now got a load of texture paste in my embossing powder, so I might have to play dig out. It's just blue fleck. I think I'm just making it worse. Anyway, we can try and get those off afterwards. There's none on there. That's fine. Good evening, Lizzie B. How you doing? Nice to have you join us this evening. So that's just white heat embossing powder onto a Versamark image and the pretty Medallion stamp set. So I'm just going to heat set that one. quite a lot of heat embossing today, so sorry about all the noise. So that's our image there. Obviously, we just need to wait a couple of seconds for that to dry. Got a little bit on the back, but that's okay. Yep, so that's all good. The only thing, don't go straight in. My temptation always, as soon as I heat emboss, is to go straight in with my finger, but don't, because it does take a couple of seconds dry. Hello, Shaz. Nice to see you this evening. Thank you for joining us. It feels like I've been away for a while, but I don't think I have. I've had a couple of random weeks off for work. I've been working the evenings. Anyway, so I've got Gorgeous Grape and Fresh Freesia, two of my favourite colours. I know Fresh Freesia isn't in colour, but I am so desperate for it not to leave. Very, very desperate. So this is an ode to purple. This card, an ode to Fresh Freesia, in hopes that it stays. And Gorgeous Grape, like you say, Joanna. Really, really hope that doesn't go anywhere. So I've got my blending brush. I'm just going to pick up some Gorgeous Grape ink. I'm just going to put in underneath a bit more scrap grid paper in the hope that I can keep the piece that I'm working on nice and tidy. So pick up, I just always take the worst of it off. I know, John, you're a girl off my own heart. Absolutely love purple. Can't believe there's some people out there that don't like purple. It's just balmy, isn't it? I'm going fairly dark on this left-hand side because we're going to work it out to white on over around the edges. So it wants to be, you want to get that good gradation of colour. So that's probably far enough. We can always come back and add some more if we want to. I don't want it to be too dark, but I know I've just contradicted myself. That's me. Just taking off the worst of the darker colour so that I can go in for the Fresh Freesia. It's quite juicy, my Fresh Freesia. I re-inked it not long ago, although I have just used it a lot recently. And then I'm just going to go in and work over that line. And just keep, again, you want to be darker at the moment because we're going to work it out to the lightest colour. I'm going into even white at the edges. It really picks up that motif well, doesn't it? That pretty medallion. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay. I'm just going to start to, again, very, very little ink on here. Don't want much ink. Gorgeous, isn't it, Joanna? I'm glad you like it just as much as me. Be careful when you're ink blending. The temptation is to do it too hard and it can ruck the paper. So you do want to be quite light. Just going to pop a little bit more ink on so I can just blend those edges out. And we're just looking at leaving that top. It's purple. You don't think Fresh Freesia is going anywhere, Shaz? Do you reckon enough of us have put our things into the sandbox? It's so gorgeous, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous colour. I'd even be tempted to, I could lose Highland Heather for having Fresh Freesia. Okay, I think we're good there. I don't want to add too much more. I really do want to keep those lightest tones there. And then all I'm going to do is grab a little piece of tissue paper, toilet paper. Kitchen roll would probably be better. And I just want to take off the worst of that ink, if there's any left on top of this. So you can see there's a little bit left on top of the embossing there. We're just going to take off just to leave that real white image coming through underneath. Beautiful. Okay, so in true Heather fashion, I'm not ready. Hang on, we need some shimmery white cardstock. Shimmery white cardstock, because we're going to do a little bit of water heat embossing as well. Coastal Cabana will be going. Oh no, I hope not. Oh no, I couldn't tolerate that either. Which stamp set is it, Lizzie? It is Pretty Medallion. I went through and had a look and saw which stamps I hadn't actually used many of, or which ones I hadn't pulled out, and that was the one I went for. I haven't used it anywhere near as much as I should have done. So I've got Irresistible Blooms, which is the other stamp set we're going to be using. 2 flowers. Again, just grabbing my embossing buddy, because I'm going to heat emboss these 2 in white again. Oh, I know, it's really, this is one of the reasons I wanted to show the background stamps, because we tend to overlook them. The other reason I tend to overlook them is because I'm like, I'm good at making backgrounds, but then what do you do with the card? But yeah, it's good to get it out and have a play. Are you making soup? Brilliant. What soup have you got cooking, Lizzie? So again, just popping that straight into there. And there's our 2 images. You can just about see them on the camera. Give those a blitz with the heat tool. Hello, Kathleen. Nice to see you this evening. Thank you for hopping on. How have you been keeping? Oh, root vegetable soup. Sounds lovely, Lizzie. So I'm going to bring back in my 2 ink pads. I've got my shimmery white cardstock, and I'm just going to grab, we're going to do a little bit of watercolouring. So I've just, in the middle of writing the watercolour course, I had a few of you book on, so thank you ever so much if you've already booked on. If you haven't, yeah, later in the year, June, I think I'm going to be starting the my first watercolour course. I've done 5 blending courses now, and I just love teaching colouring. And watercolouring is something that I think a lot of people are scared of. So all the details are in the description below in the video. You can find out loads of answers to the questions and book on if you fancy coming and joining us. It's available worldwide as well, which is great. So we've got our water brush. All I'm going to do is squeeze a few drops. I've got a piece of tissue paper here, just to the side in case I need it. And I'm just going to squeeze a few drops of water. This is plain old water. And I'm just going to colour in. Reminds me of the magic paintings that you did when you were a kid, that you just used to paint the image in. Although here, sadly, nothing happens. And I've just gone over that there. And I'm picking up some of this dark, gorgeous grape. I'm starting to feel that colour. Can you see just how it wicks beautifully? Where you've got enough water. If you want it darker, you just add in more of that ink. If you want it lighter, you just dilute it. Okay, clean that off. And then I'm going to grab some of this Fresh Freesia and just add that in as well. Oh, bless you. Thank you, Joanna. I'm really pleased you're enjoying it. Just back from a 5-hour walk. Oh, wow. I am good, thank you. I wish I could walk. My legs are too bad at the moment. Got this problem back again, which is just endlessly frustrating. So that's one of our flowers. I hope it shows up well on camera with the combined colours in there. I was teaching a class today and it was great fun. It was probably the busiest kind of, in terms of staff and things to do, busiest class we had. And there were 9 of us, where we usually have 6. So really, really pleased. Had a fabulous, fabulous morning. Again, just picking up some of that dark colour and just letting the water do the work. If you don't want it to flood quite so much, just wait for some of it to dry. And then going in with that colour. Oh, Zumba. I know, Lizzie, honestly, it's an absolute nightmare. I last had it 6 years ago and I thought I was, well, I've been much better, but it's come back. It doesn't actually help that I sit cross-legged and all sorts. I need to sit properly. But yeah, there we go. Enough of my problems. Luckily, crafting is a sit-down hobby, so. Thanks, Louise. Honestly, I love watercolouring. It's absolutely gorgeous. And like I say, you can always go back in and add in some of that deeper colour if you want to. You don't have to, but you can do. I love watercolouring because you can just go back in. It doesn't flood now because it's dry, so you do need to be a little bit more mindful. But you can just blend, keep working the watercolours. Loads of options. Watching while putting together fancy fold. Are you a fancy fold person? Pixie Petal. Oh, you have to remind me, who is Pixie? Oh, it's Jenny. It's Jenny. I knew we'd had this conversation the other week. Bless you. I need to do more fancy folds. I know you guys love them. So there are dies to go with this, but I am going to fussy cut these. Oh, Louise, you'll love it, I'm sure. Yeah, I can teach you all about different techniques, how much water to use. It's just, you don't know until anyone's told you. So I'm just fussy cutting these out. They're not dry, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. I probably wouldn't want to run them through the die cut machine yet because they're still damp, but you can fussy cut around the edge and then we can kind of leave those. It doesn't take long. It just takes a minute or so to dry. Hello, Anita. Oh, what's been blocking you from commenting, I wonder? Maybe were you not signed in? That can do it. But thank you for hopping on. Nice to see you this evening. It's been a while since I've seen you as well, actually. Oh, me too, Kathleen. Genuinely really excited. Can't wait. Really looking forward to getting to grips with it all with you all. I actually think watercolouring can be more fun than using the Stampin' Blends. Like, Stampin' Blends is lovely, but it's relaxing and it is fun, but it's not kind of fun like magic fun like watercolouring. So I've got 2 flowers. We're just going to set those aside to dry. I hope you can see. The light's not all that helpful, is it? There we go. Look. Beautiful pink and purple kind of orchid oasis. Gorgeous grape and fresh freesia. So let's set those aside. We are going to want a little bit of scrap white and granny apple green. Another colour that really can't go anywhere. I'm not going to allow it. So I'm just going to clean. You can absolutely use this for more, but I'm just going to clean it off just because I want the block back to do stamping with. And I'm going to stamp one of those two leaves and 2 of the 3 leaves, just to make it complicated. Okay. Good morning, Carousel Crafts. Oh, bless you. All the way from Australia. What's the weather like down there? I've got purple. I'm terrible at getting ink everywhere. What's the weather like down in Australia at the moment? Is it your summer still? So is it nice and warm? Oh, well, you can always join us for the Zoom. It's like available worldwide over Zoom. So it'd be lovely to have an Australian visit us. I've had lots of Americans do my courses online, but as yet, I don't think. Oh, maybe I have. I don't know. Have I had an Australian? That's really bad that I can't remember. I'm terrible. I've got an awful short-term and long-term memory. So please forgive me if I ever forget anything. Dire memory. Russ says we could actually just go on holiday. He could tell me we've been on holiday to places, and I'd probably believe him. But, oh, was it nice? Genuinely forget. My brother and his wife, they very rarely holiday abroad. They holiday in the UK. It is a gorgeous country. And yes, if you ever come over, look me up and come say hi. Do. Oh, autumn. Beautiful. Do you know, I wish I could just get out of winter. It feels like it's a perpetual winter here in the UK at the moment. It's cold, it's rainy, it's miserable, grey, damp. Had a couple of nice days, but that's really about it. So now we've got some leaves as well. We can give these a little bit of shape. I just hold on to the base and give these a bit of lift. Just a bit of dimension. So honestly, Liz, it's making me really grouchy as well. Really hard work. Trying to stay positive and upbeat and happy all the time. It just does nothing but rain. Is a challenge. But there we go. Again, I do try and stay upbeat, but yeah, it's hard work. It's hard work. I'm with you. And then we're going to grab a little bit of vellum. I don't often use vellum, but it's a really, really nice thing to add some texture, and it heat embosses beautifully. So I'm just cleaning off these leaves. And then grab the Versamark again, and I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to do one of the two. Oh, I should have embossing buddied it. Never mind. Let's do that now, just in case. 1 2 leaf and 2 3 leaves. It's a bit harder to see. Yeah, I completely agree. It's got to be the weather, Louise. Yeah, we're all in the same boat, eh? We can all be miserable. We'll be miserable together. And at least crafting is an indoor hobby. It'd be really difficult if your hobby was outdoors and you couldn't go. Like, I do have outdoor hobbies. I love just taking up bird photography with a couple of guys. So this is what I was talking about earlier. Sadly, I've got some blue texture paste in my embossing powder. So I'm just going to fish that out and then pop some more on there. That's our leaves. And I'll give those a quick blast. Yeah, I think that's the other thing. Luckily, I don't do Monday to Friday. If you work Monday to Friday, it's just a grind then, isn't it? It's just this constant dross of grind. Look how beautiful they come up. Heat embossed onto vellum. Looks lovely. Oh, Shaz, I saw my first lamb the other day. I had no idea it was. I mean, again, it just doesn't feel like it's March. And we were out, and my friend pointed out the lambs. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, really, really, really loved seeing that. They were quite big actually, so some of them must have been a good few weeks old, I think. Not that I've got any idea how big a lamb is when it comes out. But... So I'm just fussy cutting these as well. There is a die, but by the time I've got the die out and I've fussed around with it. I don't know what the weather's doing tomorrow. I'm hoping it's okay. I've got quite a long drive, about a 2-hour drive tomorrow morning, up to High Wycombe, which will be lovely. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to go and see. It's a bit of training, Stampin Up training that I was invited to, and then I'm off to see my aunt tomorrow night on the way home. She's not far from there, so I'll pop up to see her for tea on my way home tomorrow, which would be great. Okay, again, you can give these a little bit. It's a bit harder with vellum, but you can give them a little bit of a lift, just to give them a little bit of definition. And then we're basically ready to put it all together. I think I'm going to need to think of another idea. Ah, yes, Liz is going to be there. I've never met Liz in person, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm meeting a few people actually that I've never met in person, which will be fun. Yeah, really, I love meeting people in person that I've met online, although trying to recognise them is quite difficult. So I'm just going to start popping this together. Ah, hey Bex, no worries. A little bit late, but not a problem. Halfway through. Oh, thank you so much. Carousel Crafts, what's your name? I don't think I got your name, unless you want me to call you Carousel Crafts. I can't promise I'm going to remember. I will do my best. So that's going straight down onto the purple, onto the gorgeous grape backing, and then straight onto our main card here. Hello, Hazel. Greetings from Japan. What time is it? What time is it? All the way over in Japan. I think you are the most exotic visitor I've ever had on my YouTube channel. Well, watching live, that is. And that has said, Caroline. Lovely. Lovely to meet you, Caroline. Do you meet up in person as the UK art? No, we don't, but we're planning to when some guys come over for the we've got a couple of Canadian demonstrators, a couple of the American demonstrators coming over for the incentive trip. So we're planning at the moment, trying to meet up in London for dinner, which will be awesome. It'll be amazing. But yeah, me, I will be meeting Jay as well. And I'm seeing Jay tomorrow, so me and Jay. But Michaela's a little bit further away. So flower arranging, I've just kind of got one about there and one about there. So I've only done 2 flowers. You can absolutely do more, but I have just gone for the 2. So I'm just going to pop some dimensionals down here. Ah, hello, Sue. Not a problem at all. Nice to see you. Thank you for popping on. I feel like I'm going a bit overboard with the OTT with the dimensionals. 5:35 on Friday. So what is Friday like? I love the time. I'm fascinated by time, I think. What is Friday like? Is Friday going to be a good day, Hazel? Seeing as you are in the future. Okay, that's going to go there. And then we're going to pop some on the kind of bottom. I've done it still 1 layer. It's dark and you're in bed. Is Robert still asleep? I don't blame him. Just going to pop some dimensionals on the back there, and then a little bit of wet glue up the top here. Have you seen the cherry? Is the cherry blossom out yet? It was March when we went in 2020. and there was a little bit out. We had to hunt for it though. It wasn't out everywhere, but it's so worth seeing if you can. His room is too far away to look, bless you. Posted photos in your album. Oh, I'll have to go and have a look. Hazel is on holiday in Japan. Absolutely amazing. So just going to put a little bit of glue on the back of the green flower. Oh, silly Heather. I've put a dimensional there, so I just need to lift that up and tuck it under. I'm doing a bit of card butchering. That's okay. And then this one's going to go underneath as well. So again, just a little bit of wet glue. Come on, lift nicely. Play nicely. Because I want that to go overlapping there like that. And now you can go down. You can stick down to your heart's content. This lighting's awful. It's too bright. Is that better? That's a bit better, isn't it? You can actually see. And then this one is going to go, I bet I've done the same under here as well. That one's going to go under there like that. Quite like, if you can't see what I'm doing, I quite like the fact that they overlap. So leaf, 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 leaf. Quite like that. And then these two are going to go under this side. Just on the left here. So again, it would make way more sense if you put the leaves down and then put the flowers over the top. But, you know, hindsight and all that jazz. Chop the end off. Squidge it under. Flowers hide a multitude of sins. Leaf it out. It's so funny. Okay. So that basically is that. We're going to add a sentiment. And, oh, thanks, Lizzie. I wasn't sure. I kind of get, the flowers kind of get lost on the background a little bit, but I just couldn't make it less purple. I needed it to be bright purple. So sentiment-wise, I've gone for something fairly kind of standard along the front. I've actually just gone for happy birthday, but this one I'm going to do to a wonderful friend. Oh, bless you. Thank you, guys. I have lost my crafting mojo for quite a long time. I'm hoping it's come back, but it's hard sometimes to think up ideas. Anyway, I've bought myself a Nintendo Switch and I've just been playing on that. I played on it for a little while the other day and I just got up, came to my craft desk and boom, made this card. So I was quite pleased. So I've just got to a wonderful friend. What have we got? What have we got? The stylish shapes dies. Is what I want. I've used them today, so can't be too far away. Ah, oh, bless you. Thank you, Yvonne. Let me pop it there and then you can all see it. Hoping this die fits over the top just. So let's trim that down. And then we can put that through the cut and emboss machine. Oh, thank you, Caroline. I'm going to remember that because Carousel Crafts, it sounds like Caroline. I'll do my best. So I'm literally just running this through the cut and emboss machine with the the longest thin banner. Longest thin banner from the Stylish Shapes dies. Oh, John, I've just remembered. I've read but didn't comment on the fact that you could have come to the training tomorrow, but you couldn't get the day off work. Meanie pants. So that is just going to sit over there like that. The one I did before had a happy birthday. So you can absolutely do this. Oh, my other half's name's Russell. Oh, it's a nice name. And then we're going to use some of this. This is all I have left. Oh, I've just placed an order as well, and I'm kind of regretting not actually getting some more, because I reckon I could use it in a month. This is all I have left of my Fresh Freesia ribbon. It's sad. I'm using it using it really sparingly, so I'm not doing those kind of big floofy bows, which sometimes I do. And just tie a nice little bow using that one. So my ends. So like that. Like that. Is that the right way around? I can't seem to. Something like that. And then a little bit of a glue dot. We'll stick that down. Oh, the banner is gorgeous. I love it. My most used die set. This one, as you can tell. I mean, it's an absolute state. It's all ripped, but yeah, you get all your squares, circles, and then these banners as well. So you get a tiny little cute one. You get this fatter one, and then you get the really long fat one, and then obviously that one. Yeah, my most used die set. I really ought to get it onto some magnetic sheeting, because that gets used much often. Grab a glue dot. And then we're just going to stick that down about there. And then what we're going to try and do is going to try and get this over the top of there like that. Quite like it. Sometimes it can look a bit, oh, I've just got a bow stuck on. One of the things I've started doing recently is putting the sentiment on over the bow, and then you get the kind of effect of it without just it looking like you've just randomly stuck a bow on. Not that there's anything wrong with that too. Oh, I desperately hope they stay. You've got them on your desk all the time as well, Joanna. Definitely one of my favourites. Okay, we need some dimensionals. So I'm going to pop 2 dimensionals on the end. I'm just going to pop 1 over that side, and then the bow in the middle is actually going to hold this up. It's straight? No. It's not straight. Come on. Sort your life out. Straight. To a wonderful friend. It's a bit lumpy and bumpy, but you know, it's kind of like my friendships. A bit lumpy and bumpy. So, gems wise, what have we got? I know what I'm looking for. I don't know if I can find them. Again, it's getting to that stage, isn't it? I've got a whole packet of those. I haven't even used them. I need to get those. I need to get my gems in order. I've got a whole packet of those not used as well, even though I love them. I bought another packet. It's not my first packet. I bought another packet of them. Okay, I'm looking for something in particular, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. So I might have to go with something else. Oh, they're pretty as well, aren't they? Flat adhesive back. Should we put some of those on? They're nice. Let's have a look. It's actually those I was looking for, but I'm basically run out. Or we've got these purple. Oh, there's too many choices, people. Far too many choices of gems. I quite like these. You're lumpy bumpy. Let's see what these look like. Do they look a bit random? They reckon to hide some underneath like the flowers. They look a bit weird, don't they? Yeah, I know. All these we've got. This is what I was thinking of putting on there. But I've only got the massive ones left. Oh no, I've got two of these little ones. Gems, honestly, people, gems is one of the things I struggle with the most. The amount of times I put gems on, take them off again. Yeah, I think these look a little bit more kind of what I was going for. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And that is that card. I have got another card which I can show you. So let me put all this to one side because we have only got like 10 minutes. But 10 minutes is all we're going to need. So that is my beautiful, pretty medallion background stamp. And this is the one I made earlier. So you can see how the different sentiment makes it look different. Oh, thank you guys. Honestly, Lizzie, I find it remote. I need a lesson in gems. This was the one I did earlier, and I used these kind of opal Fresh Freesia rounds. Fresh Freesia opal rounds. They were really pretty. I just genuinely struggle with putting gems on something. I should just go and chuck them all on, I think. It's like, what's the placement like? And then I just fiddle. See, I don't want to move that one now. The amount of times I take them off, put them on again. Anyway, I hope you like that one. Thank you very much indeed. So yes, pretty in purple. A bit of watercolouring, a bit of ink blending. And then I don't think anybody who's going tomorrow, anyway, it doesn't really matter. I'll show you my swaps for tomorrow. Bearing in mind I've got to leave at 7:30. Oh, I've got all the bits. Do you reckon it could be like I should take them along and it's like make your own swap? We could get away with that. Okay, so I've got a bit of making to do. So let me show you the swaps that I've got for tomorrow. So this is some retired designer series paper, but it's basically just Blackberry Bliss stamped flowers, two-tone flora stamp set, Fresh Freesia, and Daffodil Delight. Oh, Yvonne, brilliant! You're going to come and join us. Oh, you'll have an amazing time. So obviously there's two options. So there's an online only or the product based. So it depends if people have already got kind of watercolouring stuff at home, and the 4 stamp sets that we'll be using, etc., etc. So Fresh Freesia card bases. Although I did cut them all in basic white to start with because I made a mistake. You know, we're all human, and then realised that I had to cut them all again. All I'm going to do is pop down my mat. This is 10 by 14 on a standard sized card base, which is same as normal, 14.5 by 21, scored in half at 10.5. I've actually done that. You know, sometimes you get that lip. I should have turned it round because then it's easier to open, but I haven't. There we go. And then the design series paper is 5 centimetres by 10 centimetres, and that's just going to go on at the top. Stick that right on at the top. Using up card. Yes, I am using up card. Although I've got another pack, so you know I'm hedging my bets. Either way, is it staying or is it not staying? We will wait and see. I've lost my sample card. Oh no, here it is. because my brain doesn't work at this time of night. So all I'm doing is just giving these flowers a little bit of zhuzh, for want of a better word. I stamped these all in the Stamparatus. I made myself a template, then die cut 19 of each flower, and then pop them in. Did stamp them off once. It was far more complicated than I had anticipated. This swap, I didn't think about it. Some of you have already seen this swap if you came to team training Saturday. That's what I used. So these are all on dimensionals as well. Great. Making life even harder for myself. Okay, dimensionals. So this is a really quick card to come together, and it's not until you make 20 of them you realise it's not quite as quick as you had anticipated. So all I do is literally just a couple, because you've ruched them as well. You don't need too many on there. Couple on there, and then one on the back of that one. So the Fresh Freesia one can go on first, because that's going to go kind of up the top, about there. Then this one's going to go on about there. And this one. And then we've got 3 leaves, all in Old Olive. I don't know why I went for Old Olive rather than Granicle Green. I'm not very good at, sometimes people ask, what makes you make the colour choice that you do? It's just my gut, really. So we've got one dark one, one mid-tone one, I'm just using this one to kind of cover up that gap there, and then one light one. I think I preferred the ones I did with light coloured. I had Fresh Freesia design series paper at the top, but I ran out of that one, so just the Blackberry Bliss left. And one under there. I've got some of this metallic twine, which I'm going to tie a bow. So I think my alarm's going to go on nice and early tomorrow morning so that I can pack and finish my swaps. Because as much as I think I'd love to be brave enough to take a make your own swap pack, I don't think I am. I'm not sure how it would go down. Some people might find it hilarious. Some people might find it hilarious. Other people might find it not funny in the slightest. If I just gave you an envelope with a load of bits in it. Happy crafting. Okay, that's going to go on there just like that. And then all we need is a sentiment. I think I've got you. You're in my thoughts. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with You're in My Thoughts. I've just got to remember what stamp set it's in. Haha, in the moment. You're in my thoughts. Would it amuse you? Yeah, it would amuse me as well. Gina, I'd find it quite funny. But I know my sense of humour isn't replicated by everybody. Oh, Lizzie, tell you more about the watercolour course. So, it's going to be 4 Zoom lessons, all recorded into a designated Facebook group. And it's going to be all about watercolouring. So loads of different, kind of all the way from basics, colour mixing, a little bit of colour theory, the colour wheel, create your own colour wheel, all the kind of wet in wet techniques, wet and dry techniques, heat embossing with watercolouring, I can't remember what else, but honestly, loads, all the watercolour techniques that I can kind of think of, jam-packed into one course over 4 Zoom lessons. I'm just going to stamp this in Blackberry Bliss. Another colour that I've just really kind of started using recently that I wish isn't going to go anywhere. You get a comprehensive course guide. So the blends one was about 15 to 17 pages long, with all the information about all the different techniques, so that you can kind of go back to it, read about it. So all the content's recorded as well. And then there's a product-based version. So £170 the product-based version is, and you get £160 worth of product and the course in that for free and postage. So really, really good value. Or the online version available worldwide is £70 for the 4 lessons. It's going to be good fun. And then obviously you get the Facebook group, which we can kind of share ideas, frustrations, anything kind of can be posted in there. Oh, inks and pencils. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, definitely. Using the watercolor pencils, using the inks. So everything that I can kind of think of to teach you. Are you going to come and play? Oh, that'd be lovely, Eloise. Lovely to have you. And Hazel as well. I know I've got lots of interest. So I am limiting numbers to 20. That's the only thing I will say. I'm going to try and limit it to 20 just because I want to be able to effectively teach it. So don't leave it too long to sign up if you're interested. I've got 5 booked in already, booked and paid for. So we don't start till June, and it will be first come, first served. If you need to talk about kind of paying a deposit to secure your place, that's fine. Come and see me, or give me a message, drop me a line. But it will be kind of booked on. First come, first served. So I'm just popping this on a bit of dimensionals here, but I will be doing another one later in the year. I thought it might be popular, so I do plan on running 2 of these. So if the Saturdays don't work for people this time, the one later in the year will be Sundays, because I have to go play hockey later in the year, and that's on a Saturday. Yes, Jenny, you're already booked and paid. You're in. Bless you. Yes, I thought it would be popular, but I just can't. I can't. If everybody turned up on Zoom, I don't think it's fair to be able to kind of have loads of people when I can't actually teach and look at your work. And I really like it being a teaching class rather than just a turn up and have a go. I want to be able to teach people. So that's just going to go on dimensionals there. Again, not straight, nothing straight tonight. I'm kind of talking about. There we go. That's that one, and I'm just going to grab a few gems. Couple of rhinestones maybe. I'm running out of rhinestones as well. This is bad, people. Oh, Gina, I'm so pleased you're enjoying the blends course. Thank you. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of work goes into the courses, but it just means the world when you guys say that you really enjoy them. And I absolutely love doing them. So again, I mean, Lizzie, where am I going to put these gems? So I'm just stumped. I mean, one's got to go there, right? I just can't. We've all got the things we can't do, and for some reason, placement of gems is mine. One there and one there. It's just boring, isn't it? That's where I put my gems all the time. Okay, so that is it. I've got 18 more of those to make. So wish me luck. And that is the one that I did in Fresh Freesia. I think I do prefer this, if I'm honest. But that's what I've got left paper-wise. Just a really nice card design. I've done this card design a couple of times recently. It's what we did in our YouTube live the other week, the nested friends. Little strip of paper up the top, something just across here to cover the paper up. I did ribbon in the nested friends one, and then a focal point on the right hand side. So you can absolutely use that layout for so many different cards. It's a really, really good one. 2 bottom, 1 top, you think? Oh, I could have done 2 at the bottom, because then you'd see them better, wouldn't you? So which one am I taking off? That one, and put it down there. I don't know. Struggle. That looks a bit better. At least you can see them. Oh, thank you, Joanna. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Becky. Need to catch up on the last lesson, but you can see an improvement in your colouring. Oh, I am chuffed to bits. I can too. I really can. It's just lovely to see you kind of grow and develop in confidence as well. So looking forward to the next one. Looking forward to the next one. Thank you so much, Louise. Oh, it's my pleasure. So 10 minutes that card took to put together. 10 minutes times 18. It's 180 minutes. So I need to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to make my swabs. Let's see. I'll report back next week whether it was finished or whether I did some. Here's a swap. Would you like to make it yourself? I know some people aren't doing swaps, and I've done swaps for everybody. So I'm tempted to kind of do half and half. And those that haven't brought swaps will be, here's the pieces, please make it yourself. But no, I can't do that. I need to get up early and sort them out. Anyway, I divulged. So Carousel, is it divulge or diverge? Carousel for Caroline, thank you, Heather. Thank you so much indeed. Oh, it's your morning, of course it is. And Hazel. So I hope you both have a lovely day. It's our evening time here. Thank you, Jen. Thanks, Jenny. I think I'm going to need it. One under the light green leaves. Yes, I know. You could have just. I'm not really good at poking them under things. More practice required in gem placement, I think. Right, my lovely lot. I'm going to bid you good night. I will be back. I will be back next Thursday unless I get a phone call to go into work. Because I am on cover week next week on Thursday, but at the moment not required. So yes, I will give you a shout, a heads up on Facebook to let you know whether I'm live. But it'd be nice to see you. Look after yourselves, take it easy, and I will catch up with you all again really, really soon. Thank you ever so much. Take care. Bye for now, guys. See you later. Bye bye.